All right. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another stream. My name is Monica. I'm from geeksagogo.com. Today, I'm going to be working on a continuation of Doc Oct. I'm going to be working on the wig. So I have this beautiful, beautiful brown wig that I'm going to be styling today. And today's topic is how do I plan out my cosplay? So that's going to be what we'll be talking about today. Just got a thumbs up from my hubby telling me that the sound is awesome, which is perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go on ahead and get started. So what is it really that I do in order to plan a cosplay? Like, where do I even get started, right? So to get started, I pick up my character. So, for example, like with Doc Ock, I look for a character that I absolutely love. That way, I'll be passionate about building it because creating cosplay is a huge commitment. And being that it is a huge commitment, you're gonna spend a lot of time making it, especially if you do stuff from scratch, like I do for the most part. So I am doing a lot of shortcuts. Um, I'm sure some of you have seen my stream earlier this year about my health issues, so that's going to be a little bit of a roadblock for me this year, but that's okay. If you weren't able to catch that stream, don't worry. It is available on our YouTube channel. So just go to youtube.com/c/geeksagogo and then you can do the recap or like watch the recap there. Um, so yeah, I pretty much pick a character that I absolutely love, and I love Doc Ock. Doc Ock, I don't know, you'll see a lot of themes with a lot of like octopus. And I know what you're thinking. Get your head out of the gutter. But I love female characters that are strong or characters that are scientists tend to be like kind of like what I lean towards, or any character that has kind of like a mechanical like aspect or electronic aspect to their props or whatever. That's pretty much what I go for the most part. Um, so research the character that you like after you pick it, get a little bit of a background. That way you'll get to know why they look like that, why their costumes is like the way that it is. Then after your research, pick out the character. Then you do your research. After you do your research for the character, you basically go on ahead and start planning it out. So you look at the character. And hi, if you're just tuning in today, thank you so much for watching. My name is Monica from Geeks to Go, and I'm actually discussing how to get started planning out a cosplay build. So, yeah, first is pick your character, do your research about the character, and with the research, you look for the different components of that cosplay or that costume, and then you kind of like write it out. So, what are the different parts that you're going to be building or sourcing? So, for me, I want to keep this list as short as possible, except for if it's a competition piece. If it's a competition piece, that's a whole another ball game, and we will get to that. Um, but I kind of wanted to just discuss for now how to source or how to put together a cosplay if you're just doing a regular cosplay for non-competition, because competition ones are very different. They tend to be a little bit more strict when it comes to like when you join Crown or any craftsmanship competition. They're a lot more strict and there's a lot more nuances with those types of builds. And because of that, it's a lot longer. Like the list is a lot longer. For builds like this, I'm building this. Hopefully, I get it done by Northwest Indiana Comic Con and wear it there. Because I've always wanted to work on this cosplay, and I finally get a chance to do that this year. So, what I'm doing right now too. So I have this wig, uh, this nice canvas wig head that I just got. It's so pretty. Help me name them. Help me name it, by the way, if you could. But I am actually going to make her hair a lot more poofy than this. based on the reference picture, you can kind of see it on the lower part of the screen here. On the lower right section is kind of a reference photo. And as much as I love the color and the curls, like it's the right texture, I wanted to be fuller. So I bought a second wig. Now that's kind of like one of the tricks that I do when I make wigs for my cosplays is I get, although I do get cheap wigs, don't get me wrong, the cheap wigs that I buy two of them to make it look fuller. And then what I end up doing is after I pretty much like hack and slice this other wig, I'm going to attach it to this one. So yeah. So definitely do your research. So where we're at. So do your research about the character, and then after you research about the character, you split it up to your components. So I split it up this way. Hey Lizzie. Flora. Oh, I love that. I love Flora. How are you doing, Lizzie? Long time no see. So Lizzie, I actually did a shout out. She is such a wonderful roommate at NYCC, like her and Sewing Silly. So they're just so amazing. Like they have kept our pod like safe during NYCC. I was really nervous because I've never roomed with people before, and they have made that roommate experience for me during NYCC so much better. It's so much less intimidating. They've kind of like, you know, they took care of a lot of stuff. They're awesome. So if you ever get a chance to room with these two, you are going to have a blast. Like we had so much fun. We were tired for the most part during the convention, but yeah, we had so much fun. So yeah, let's see here. Oh, that's so cool. Girl, you also need to start streaming your stuff. Like I can't wait to see all the things that you're working on. I saw you thrifted some fabrics that you're working on your stuff, on your current build, and I'm loving the colors. And I love like the, is it Victorian? Like, can you correct me what type of era you're sewing? Yeah, Lizzie's phenomenal. Please go follow her, by the way, on her social media. Okay, so she is right now she's building, it is the 1730s. Um, so Lizzie has actually had an experience working professionally as a customer, how do you pronounce costumer, um, fabricator, sewist. She's done it professionally. So I have learned so much from her. And let me tell you about Lizzie, since she is watching. I will have to say, you know, without her, I have this dream cosplay I've been planning for 2 years now. Because it's supposed to be a competition piece, and she has helped me find the. Oh, you're welcome. She's helped me find the fabric that I needed for this cosplay to happen. It's gonna probably take me 2 to 3 years to complete it, but I'm telling you, it's so worth it. And thank you so much, Lizzie. Like, please follow her on her social media. Lizzie, if you don't mind, like, typing out your social media handle, and that way I can put it up on the screen so that people can follow you. She's a very, very good tailor. My gosh, like the outfits she wore, like in between her and Sewing Silly. I was like, oh my gosh, I am in the presence of really, really good like seamstresses. So this is Lizzie's Instagram. Please follow her if you can. Hey Liz. I'm being joined by two Lizzes today. Hello. Hi Di. So Liz, you also have to follow Liz. Also an amazing cosplayer. We've all been busy for a while, but she is cooking up a lot of cool stuff. You all like definitely check out her page as well. You'll find her at Raw Sugar Cosplay, right, Liz? I know I'm talking to two Lizzes. Di. I'll call her Di for the sake of this video. So yeah. Anyway, we kind of got lost track about Liz for the Liz's for the win. Yes. if you're in a company with any of these two Liz's in a convention, you're gonna have a blast and a great time. All right, so yeah, Raw Sugar Cosplay and Tin Lizzie costumes. Definitely give them a follow. So yeah, so you figure out your character, you did your research. Now you put them in sections on what you're building. So you've got your outfit, your props, your makeup, your wig. You kind of like divide it that way, or I at least do it that way. Um, yeah, Melissa, Elizabeth Supremacy, but yeah, Liz is actually Melissa. So both pretty names. Um, but yeah, so let me see, where was I? Sorry, I got sidetracked. But yeah, you do your sectioning. So you figure out your sections of your costume. So your outfit, your props, your makeup, and your wig. And then after that is the hard part, because after that is, yeah, we need to do a fabric warehouse run, which I was getting to that actually, because part of the whole thing with figuring out, after you figure out your sections of what you're building, you need to source your materials. And by golly, when you source your materials, this can start getting really expensive. This wig that I'm butchering right now costs less than $20, but it's really thick. Like, I got it from Amazon, and I think it was like $17, $18, something like that. I'd be more than happy to put the link in the description box, like when this goes up on the YouTube channel. But I bought two, so now I'm trying to remove one weft, one long weft, and then sew it here. That way I'll be able to, have a fuller wig. I tend to do that a lot because, one, guaranteed you'll have the same color hair that's on that wig, and then two, it's like it'll just look so much fuller and cooler. So anyway, like I was saying, like the whole so Liz was saying about the whole fabric shopping. So in Chicago, we are lucky that we have Textile Discount Outlet, which is this fabric store that covers an entire block in that street, and they have like reasonably priced fabric. Now, it's a huge warehouse. It's 3 levels, and like I said, it covers a whole city block, and it's larger than city blocks in New York. Just to give you some context. There you go. Yeah, the Liz's are getting acquainted. Y'all should follow each other. I think you'll have a blast. But yeah, absolutely, definitely check it out. If you're just tuning in, hey, what's up? I am building a Doc Oct wig right now. I'm joined with two other Liz's in chat, so feel free to chat along with us. I guess everyone's building tonight, huh? Like Tin Lizzie is building something. And then Raw Sugar Cosplay, also another Liz, is possibly just chatting or building something as well. So yeah, feel free to chat along. And this is one weft. Yay. So yeah, so after you try to source your materials, you try to find, and this sometimes takes a while for me to do, because I like to find the cheapest material, cheapest and quality material, by the way, not just the cheapest. I like looking for a good bargain. If it's something that's a really, really close, what do you call this, material to what I want it to be, but it's a good price, I'll definitely go for it. I only tend to concentrate on doing screen accurate stuff if I'm competing. Otherwise, like, I just go nuts and do my own version of stuff. I've learned it from a lot of my friends through the years. Unless it's a competition piece, I don't need to worry about anything. I don't need to sweat. because it's just added stress for you, you know. If you're just wearing it for fun at a convention, you know, just go with that. So this buff that I just removed from that duplicate wig that I have, I'm going to fold it in half, add some more thickness to it. Okay. And then I'm going to stitch that end to close them together. Hopefully this doesn't go too far. Okay. And then before I pull it all the way, I actually put the needle through like this. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, I just kind of just sew it tight like that, so it's not going anywhere. And then I really should have brought a comb in here, but it's okay. I'm stubborn. Yet the stubbornness of the Filipino women. All right, so I'm gonna start with, I really like the top to be full, just like the characters here in the movie. Like I said, I'm not really going for screen accuracy here, but I love a good wig. And if I manage to make the wig look really, really good, then I'll rewear it like in multiple other cosplays. So that's kind of like the big thing about it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking for the first layer that's kind of bald. Like you kind of see, let me put this closer here. You can kind of see that it's a little bald on this spot right here. You can see the flowers or the canvas through. Let me see. Liz said, Raw Sugar said, haha, we will. Everyone does that. Thanks. Okay, so, but yeah, this bald spots, I love covering these bald spots. And I'm going to take my weft that I had earlier and go like this. Just go right for that spot right there. I don't know if you can see it. Like the end where the bald spot starts. Oh, let me tell you about my day. It's my husband's birthday today, and that's why my stream's only an hour for today. Because I don't have any other days I can schedule my stream. I tend not to schedule my stream during his other D&D session because then our internet will just go crazy and the stream wouldn't be good. So with sewing wigs together, it's nice to have this, like, I don't know what it's called. If you if anyone watching knows what it's called, but this like U-shaped curved needle, or maybe it's called that, I don't know. But yeah, I just kind of just sew it in. It makes it so much easier to sew in these wigs. And be very careful not to sew your canvas. Don't sew it into the canvas, because that's going to be really hard to take out. And you got to start all over, and we're not doing any of that today. All right, so basically just do kind of like a blanket stitch. I still remember the stitches that we were taught back in grade school, and I think that's what this is called. So I'm doing that sort of stitch just to keep this, mold these two wigs together. Anyway, so yeah, so after sourcing your materials, trying to research what the cheapest material is. Sorry, I know you're seeing my back in the other screen. So yeah, you source your material, and then after that, you schedule your build, which can get a little crazy. And the good thing about scheduling your build is not only so you can manage your time, but also so you can set a realistic deadline for yourself, which, haha, cosplayers don't really have realistic deadlines for their because of con crunch, right? Am I right? because people always send a con crunch, and that happens, but that's okay. You know, I decided that last year I wasn't going to do that. I decided that if I'm not done a day or two before the convention, then I'm not bringing that cosplay. I'm bringing an old cosplay with me because it's not worth it. Um, like I said, you know, I'm putting my health first. That's just been the theme of my year, especially last year. So I have put my health first. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop building though. So that's a cool part. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep stitching here. I'm not sure how much of this you can see. But yeah, just doing blanket stitches all the way here. Here, let me make some adjustments here so you can actually see what I'm working on. So how is everyone liking my setup, by the way? I am curious. I'm curious to know. Because I decided to clean up and revamp my workshop here. This is actually the room behind our bedroom. And so the original plan was this was going to be the workshop slash sewing room. And if you know, if you do armor work or do foam work, mixing your sewing stuff with your armor stuff, not a good combo. It's dusty, it gets really, really dirty real quick. So I decided to like separate my sewing section from my armor and electronic section. I don't want stuff that can burn be around this room. I mean, for a really good safety reason, right? So yeah, we're not gonna do that. So yeah, I have a whole section now upstairs in our attic for my sewing. We're lucky we have this house. There's plenty of rooms, so we can utilize these other sections of the house for all these like extra projects and whatnot. There you go. So after you source your materials and you find your cheapest, you do your scheduling, and then after you do your scheduling, then you set, well, first, sorry, you're supposed to set a realistic deadline, and then you schedule your stuff. So after you set your deadline, you know, and you can gauge this as time goes by. You'll have a better idea how fast you can make a cosplay. Like me, I can knock out a cosplay, an armored cosplay, with like less sewing, with probably like 20% sewing. I can knock that out in like 2 weeks. The only reason why, and it's like 2 weeks, it sounds like not a lot of time, right? But the only reason why I can do 2 weeks is because I have gotten a lot of practice through the years and I have my own shortcuts. So it has been easier for me to make stuff now. And that's the reason why I'm a lot faster. So, you know, like practice makes improvement. It's not practice makes perfect anymore. It's practice makes improvement is what they say nowadays. And that's true. Like you just improve your craft, you find your own technique. That's why I keep telling people, like during my seminars last year, I would tell people there's really no right way to cosplay. There's really no right method to do things. You can kind of like figure out your own method of doing things. I'm a firm believer of like cosplay is not one size fits all. Like obviously, like people have different backgrounds, people have different resources or talents. So that's something that people forget. And it's such a shame because sometimes that's what not makes the whole hobby or craft fun anymore, when people like dwell on these things, you know. cosplay is supposed to be for fun. Like, I don't know. Like now I use cosplay for work. I'm getting paid to do it. But when I'm creating my own stuff, I still want it to be fun. So this one's going to be one of the fun ones that I'm building. I do have several projects that I will be working on in the future. I can't talk about them yet, but I can't wait to like show them. I'm pretty sure they'll ask me to stream it, which is awesome because as much as possible, I want to start streaming all of my builds. The next one after this, oh my gosh, I've been waiting to build for a whole year, and I just hadn't had the time last year because on top of new cosplay I had to do for my client, I had to do what do you call this? I had to tour. I had a mini tour during the summer. So I had back-to-back conventions that I went to on top of being sick. Um, and yeah, I am just happy I managed to pull through all that because it's crazy. My schedule was crazy. Was a geek room with a bed before. Actually, remember that yellow room with the god awful wallpaper? That's now our bedroom. I don't know if I've ever. It's been a while since you were out here. Like I think my birthday last year was the last time you were out here, but I don't think I showed you the bedroom. But that god awful room with the yellow wallpaper, it is now our master bedroom. And I painted it like forest green. It's like really nice, like botanical goth vibes in there right now with like um vintage furniture, and everything is just so nice and like cozy and dark. But it has like some of the dried flowers from our wedding like up on the wall, so it like kind of like breaks through that dark color, which is so awesome. But yeah, when you're back, I'll invite you guys over because I do miss hanging out with you guys. um and then we'll have dinner or something or game and stuff. But yeah, this situation we have, I don't know why we're at like year what year are we in now? Like year 2, year 3 of this crazy pandemic thing. It's wild. I just can we just get back to normal already? I mean, I guess it's kind of a blessing in disguise for me because I am very limited about. Oh yeah, definitely. Let's plan your visit in here soon. Like definitely we need to plan that. I love to feed you and your family, so please come over. But yeah, this has gone too far and too long enough. Like I am tired of it. Um I mean, like I said, it's kind of a blessing in disguise because like for the most part, like I like my new medication like really like makes me tired for the most part. Um So in a way, like it's kind of good, but at the same time, it's like I like being outside. I like doing things. I can't sit still, which is sometimes a problem. But yeah, it's like that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I'm just trying to make the most out of like staying inside. All right, so yeah, so you going back to the whole planning planning stuff. Once you have your schedule done, I tend to start with the section of my build that would take the longest. And the reason why, or the not just the longest, the one that I'm not proficient in. I tend to start on that first because for me it's kind of like one of those relays where you're like, "Oh, I'm going to start with the I don't know. Do you start with the slowest runner? I don't know. Like I just feel like, if I need somebody to go to do the last lap of the finish line, I would have my fastest runner for that last lap. So that's kind of like what I do. Like whatever I have um, that's harder to do, I tend to do first. Um, that way, if I get stuck, then I can always work on the next section that's a lot more familiar to me and a lot easier for me. And then, you know, like work my way back to that hard section that I'm stuck in. So I can always like refer back to it after I work on that. I also tend to jump around. Just to be honest, I jump around from, yep. So so yeah, I jump around from what I'm doing on a daily basis unless I'm really really like close to like finishing something. And the reason why is because I probably have undiagnosed ADHD. I know a lot of you can relate to this. But yeah, I tend to just, you know, like kind of like jump from one to another because that, if I'm doing the same thing over and over again for like 3 days straight, I would get bored. I would get bored so fast. And that is just a recipe to be unproductive. Um, you know, move at your own pace. That's completely up to you. That's how I do it. You don't necessarily have to do that. Like some makers, they're better at following a set schedule. Like, hey, you know, I'm gonna do part A first, and then not move on to any sections, and then just stick with part A until I finish it, and then go to part B. Like me, I tend to jump. That's just my style. Um, and then after that, or during rather, I like documenting and making notes. People hate doing this. A lot of people are like, nobody has time to take notes when you're building stuff. Trust me, it will help you in the long run. I love making notes. That could be another thing that I will discuss down the road. Let's see here. Tin Lisi says, I usually start with underlayers and sewing first. That's a cool thought to start with the hard things first. Yeah. You're really good at sewing. So Tin Lizzy is really, really good at sewing. Um, but yeah, it's at your own pace. Like you're really fast at sewing because you already know what you're doing. So I totally get it. Like, but yeah, definitely start with what you want first. I just like doing the hard stuff first because yeah, I just come back to it. If I get frustrated, I work on the first like easy stuff that I can work on, and then just work my way back to that hard stuff. Um, a lot of electronics sometimes can be really frustrating to work on, and that I'm for this build actually, I'm just incorporating easy electronics for now. This is like the first iteration of this cosplay. Um, because I have so much plans for it. I have so much I want to add once I do the first iteration of it, and then I'm going to build from there. But because I do have a time crunch, and because I want to make all these other awesome cosplays, I'm going to start with kind of like version 1 of this with the less electronics, and version 2 will be like full stop, like everything, everything that I've been dreaming of on for this cosplay. But yeah, like I said, you know, cosplay is not a one size fits all skill set. You know, you do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Do whatever makes you feel like okay, like this is up, this is more of my speed, or this is more of my style. Um, there's really no rules on how you do it. Just have fun while you're doing it. That's pretty much what it is. I'm really happy how this is turning out, and I'm sorry you can't really see much of it because it's kind of dark for some weird reason. Let me adjust this lighting and probably like lower it down. This is the one thing that I sort of hate about this section of the house, because a lot of our house is built in the 1920s, and yeah, like it's built in the 1920s, and a lot of the fixtures here have not been updated. So it's been a journey renovating a bunch of stuff around this house. Lizzie, you're also more than welcome to like come visit. You know, we'll have room for you. We do have guest rooms here. So if you ever come to Chicago for a visit, definitely let me know. I will feed you also. But yeah, I think you can see the sewing better a little bit. That's a problem with dark hair. It's like you can't really see what's going on with this whole shebang. But I know it's gonna look good. Oh, and if you have any questions, feel free to type it into chat. Um, I know like I've been just babbling in here and doing this wig for the most part. But yeah, definitely ask anything. If you have other questions other than what I'm working on, if it's for my past projects or whatever, definitely ask away. And if you're tuning in just now and you missed everything else that I've said, don't worry. This video will be on video on demand, so it will be replayed on the same channel, and it will be up on our YouTube channel as well. So definitely try to check that out. Comment there and do the thing. Do the follow and the thumbs up. Yes. The YouTube channel is just youtube.com/C as in channel /Geeksagogo. And you can find me at Geeksagogo on all social media platforms. Like even the MySpace, the new MySpace website that somebody built. Whew. I don't know. Maybe people will go back to that MySpace type website. Let's see what this metaverse has in store for us. Kind of scary sometimes, like what they're really planning on doing with all of our stuff here. Okay. See that bald spot? Look at the difference. You've got bald spot right here and not bald spot right there. Isn't that cool? That's like, that makes a huge difference already. Let's see here. Which cons are this for? This one, well, this one in particular, if I finish, this is gonna be for NWI. I will be judging the cosplay contest there. They have been having me as a cosplay judge there for years, and I'm happy to be back this year. They unfortunately they weren't around last year because of the whole situation with the panda, the pandemic, and then they're trying to get back this year, but you know, with this new variant or variants, I don't know anymore. I can't keep track. There's just so much stuff going on. Um, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're kind of playing it by ear, sort of, because you know, safety first. Plus, like I've had enough visits to the hospital this past month. I really don't want to go back unless it's for something important. You know what I mean? I didn't have COVID the whole time, so um, just to clarify, I did post a health update on the first video that I did for the year. It's on the YouTube channel. If you want me to discuss a little bit about it today, I can, but I don't want it to be a topic that I would be discussing fully today. Just because, just to be on, or to be honest about it, I'm just tired of talking about it. There's too many people asking me about what's going on and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, just go to my update on that first video. It's on YouTube right now, and it's on video on demand here on Twitch. So yeah, not dead yet. I'm still alive, and I am working on a lot of stuff. So you can expect that for sure. So yeah, NWI is what this is planned for, and hopefully, crossing my fingers, um, D23. I really want to go to D23 this year. I'm trying to save up for it because I've always wanted to go. And Shar Star, also follow her, please. Shar Star Cosplay. She has gone several times. I just love her pictures. I just want to go hang out with her there because it looks like a great time. Like I've never been to one, um, and just all of these like um, costume references, all these like cool stuff that you can find, and then sometimes they have like cool announcements that they tell to the members. I'm excited for all that. So I wanted a different experience this year, especially since I'm just gonna be honest, like for the most part last year, a lot of my con appearances was work. Not that I'm complaining, like I do like that's what I strive to do, but I also want to have like time to have fun and time to enjoy it with my friends because life's too short. You gotta go have fun with your friends. That's very important. All right. Gosh, I'm loving it. I'm covering this bald spot in here and it's looking really good. So yeah, that's kind of like the whole idea for this section here. And then I'm just going to keep doing this over and over and over again. So yeah, while you're taking notes for your builds, I know I keep jumping from this to what I'm talking about with the whole like cosplay planning hoopla. Um, Once you take notes, it's a good way to like keep track of what you're working on. Also a good trick to do with that, with having notes handy, actually helps you learn from your past. So yeah, if something didn't work, it's a nice thing to backtrack on. Oh, why didn't I do this in the first place? Or yeah, I'm not doing that again, or I'm not using this material again because XYZ. You know what I mean? It's like just in case you like forget, and we're at that age where we're forgetting stuff because we're getting old. So, well, my most of the time it's like my meds are like getting me like all like cloudy and stuff. So I tend to forget stuff like lately. But anyhow, like yeah, definitely take notes. Keep track of what you're working on. Keep track of stuff that works out for you, etc., etc. And then finally, if you're like me, all my builds, especially if I complete it, you have to schedule your kind of like a fit day. And what does that mean? Schedule how your cosplay fits on you. Make sure that it's like a few days before the convention. That way, um, if you have a convention coming up and you're trying to wear that cosplay, make sure that you can breathe, you can move around in it, and do all these things because there's nothing worse than going to a convention and your cosplay's falling apart or that you're uncomfortable in it. This is the time where you make your adjustments. I highly recommend taking time to do adjustments on your builds, definitely, because yeah, I'm more about concentrating on having fun while I'm at the convention as opposed to worrying if my cosplay is like falling apart or something. So yeah, that's just my thing. This little stuff that I learned through the years here. Just make things easy for yourself. And like I said, if your cosplay is not ready, then so be it. That happens. Nothing wrong with that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of like combing this back, revealing that bald spot underneath that again. And then I'm going to start my next layer. Slayer, like the band. No. Layer. My next layer. Yep. Yeah, Tin Lizzie says, yep, test fitting is so critical. Speaking of fit, my gosh, those trousers that you made for your costume for NYCC, they fit you like a glove. Like, I wish I knew how to sew like that. But yeah, she is very, very well experienced with sewing, so definitely follow her. Um, we like hyping my friends in this channel because I have awesome friends, and you need to follow all of them because I won't be friends with them if they're not awesome. Okay. All right. So ever since renovating this or revamping my space here, I've actually it's been a lot warmer here somehow. Um, sorry, I keep like moving this thing. There you go. It's become a lot warmer in this room, and I don't know if it's my hat or what, but it's gotten a lot warmer. I got these like thermal curtains, and mind you, like this room is actually like next to the mudroom, and it's like what do you call this? It's not a day room, or what do you call what do you call the space? I don't remember. Anyway, it will get back to me. But it's like the back room. And at first this was our initial game room, and then it turned into my workshop. Yay, because it has the most windows in the house. And I need to vent out all of that glue smell, all of that paint smell. Um, the other half of this, I will dare not show you all right now. It's not ready. It's a hot mess because that used to be my sewing section, and now it's under construction. Um, we're planning on making the other half of this the paint room so that Bill will have a section to paint his minis while I work on my cosplay. Because that it has enough space on that side to have a paint station, and then we're going to build a, what do you call this, a paint booth with a filter and a vacuum filter. I don't know how to describe it, kind of like a vacuum filter sort of situation going on, so it will vent all the fumes out. I think on this section here, you can see this curtain here, I'm going to have a vent of my own for sanding stuff. I'm going to have like this collapsible contraption thing that I'm probably going to film. And it's just going to be a simple design. I forgot the names of the builders that um, came up with the design, but they had a really good plan on how to do these things. And all you need is like an air filter, like a furnace filter, and a fan, basically. Um, just trying to keep. Yes, yes, definitely. Definitely spray booth with vacuum. Yeah, definitely. And like like if you work with foam, like you already know, like you probably experience it. Like there's so much dust. Like I had to dust this whole area. I was like literally like cleaning it up. It was horrible. There was so much dust. Like I hated that. I hated that part of doing armor. Like foam work is my favorite out of all methods of cosplay. It's my absolute favorite, but it's the messiest. And it's like, so much dust. But yeah, I love it. I vowed myself to like create more foam stuff this year just because I miss it. I did so much sewing last year. Um, I love dyeing fabrics. Like I love custom dyeing fabrics. Like Tin Lizzie and I, we've been talking about that at NYCC when we were hanging out. We're talking about dyeable fabrics and stuff like that. That could be a cool segment, like down the road. We can talk about that. Like what type of fabric, what type of dye to use and stuff like that. And like what kind of effects. But yeah, they are like, they know all the stuff. Like they're really, really good at it. So I trust them a lot. So let me keep sewing in here. But yeah, if you have any questions at all, feel free to like type it in chat. I'm just sewing this bald spot, making it not bald anymore. Sewing Silly Cosplay. Her name's Megan. So she basically had this. My gosh, I'm drawing a blank of the character name, but she had this amazing wig that she brought for her cosplay at NYCC, and she styled it really, really well. It looks so cool. Like it was the coolest like wig styling I've ever seen. Check it out on her page. I think it's from. Man, I'm drawing a blank. Where is it from? I think Owl something. I think it got taken out of like Disney or something because it was too adult. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, she did an awesome job on her cosplay, and the wig was like phenomenal. So I'm going to use some of those techniques with this wig build, and hopefully it will be will be half as good as her work. But yeah, I like being able to hang out with different types of cosplayers because when you go to conventions, you talk shop and then you learn a lot of like new stuff. It's like, yeah, it's like learning and having like new friends at the same time. And I know like sometimes people are like, oh, cosplayers are not very approachable. Actually, a lot of cosplayers are approachable. And if you find the really, really good ones, yeah, that's where you learn the most. Because some people, they just love to share the knowledge that they learn from making cosplays, and they love doing it. They love sharing how fun cosplaying is. Goodness gracious. This wig, I am so excited. Like, I'm like, where am I going with that? No, I am just so excited to wear this wig. Like, you have no idea. Like, when Into the Spider-Verse came out and we watched it and I saw this character, I was just like, damn, I want to cosplay that character so bad. It's just like in between Doc Ock and Penny Parker, I wanted to build a robot, you know, because I'm crazy. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. If I get struck with the craziness, I might build that next. There you go. But yeah, I'm just sewing along in here. So yeah, I think everyone in this channel that's watching right now, their favorite colors are purple. Owl House! Thank you, Tin Lizzie. Owl House is the name of the cartoon I was telling you earlier about Sewing Silly's wig. So that character that she did, the wig was phenomenal. Her outfit was phenomenal. Like she patterned it in Clo, which is like the software. I'm thinking about getting the software, even if it has a monthly kind of like a membership for like $35 a month. But I make so many costumes in a year for like different conventions that I might as well invest in it. I mean, the reason why I kind of got pushed into sewing my cosplays is because I am not a regular size kind of gal. And just admittedly, I'm like, I've gained a lot of weight because of my health stuff and my medication and stuff like that. So, that being said, I need custom size patterns. And Clo looks really cool. Like they've actually used it in a lot of applications, including some movie movies that came out last year. Like they use it a lot for costuming these actors who are in movies that came out last year. which is so awesome. I think that's so awesome. From what I know, I think the mother company is from Korea, but they are based in California, and they work with a lot of like the movie industry when they create this stuff. I think it's a really cool tool, especially if you have clients that need specific sizing. But like I said, just gauge it. Um, I just think it's a little, um, it makes stuff like easy for you to just size stuff up and pattern, because patterning is such a pain in the butt. Like for real, like whether it's armor or sewing, it's just such a pain. There's just so much you have to like look into in order for this stuff to like fit. And it's like there's only so much muslin or like what do you call this? Like test fabric that you can use just to build something. Yeah, so for the duration of I've only got about 3 more minutes left of the stream, and I know it's a shorter stream this today or for this week, because it is Bill's birthday. It's my husband's birthday today. If you get a chance to greet him happy birthday on my page, like go on ahead and do it. I will post a picture up of him. Um, but yeah, I this is how crazy my day was. Okay, like I work my 9 to 5 here at home, and then after that, I cooked. We went downtown because I had to pick up mail for work, and then we grabbed Portillo's because we gotta have Portillo's. It's his birthday, so he picked up Portillo's, and then went home, continued with work, and then I cooked him this meal. Like the king deserves a king's meal, okay? That's my motto. The king deserves a king's meal. And he got a king's meal. He had steak, we had raclette, um, mashed potatoes, and then I just started making homemade Caesar dressing, which by the way is life changing. So if you want the recipe, oh thank you. Thank you. Raw sugar. Um, I will definitely let him know you said happy birthday. But yeah, like homemade Caesar dressing is mind blowing. Definitely give it a shot. I'll be more than happy to comment the link where I got the recipe from, because ever since I started making it from scratch, it is a whole other level. It's like you put the fresh ingredients in there, and it just tastes 10 times better than Caesar dressing that you get in the store. Well, we got a minute left. I really appreciate you all for tuning in. I'm so excited to just finish this so that you can see the whole thing. I've actually had a bunch of my materials come in this week, and I'm going to be slowly kind of just like unpacking and like showing them to you, and just showing this whole process. Like a lot of this stuff that I got is honestly like already like pre-made stuff, but who cares? If the end result is cool, then that's all that matters really. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Liz, you have to come and well, both Liz's, both of you need to come and I'll feed you. And I'll feed you something different. Like I'll feed you like all different stuff. Like just let me know. Like we need to plan it. But yeah, the motto, when you're in this house, you don't leave hungry. That's basically the family motto. So yeah. All right. Well, it is time for me to sign off because oh, thank you, Tin Lizzie. You are as well. Don't you ever forget that. You're also a badass, and you too, Raw Sugar. Like, you are all, like, phenomenal. Yeah, Jollibee is also good. Don't forget, Jollibee is open now downtown. This is not sponsored. But anyway, Jollibee is now open downtown, right below the Philippine Embassy, of all places, of course. Like, perfect marketing strategy, right? Um, thank you, Raw Sugar. But yeah, you both are amazing. Please follow my friends, Rasher Cosplay and Tin Lizzie Costumes. Definitely give them a follow. They're both amazing makers. And I appreciate you all for tuning into my stream. I hope to show you more stuff. Next week, I will be streaming on Monday. So I do every other Monday and then every other Wednesday. So I gotta go because I have to go and game with Bill. So thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.